Welcome to InterviewU, where your questions take center stage. You submit the questions, and we interview the professionals. Today, we're collaborating with the YouTube channel at Rose A.J. Coates. Rose A.J. sits down with Joanna to explore her carnivore journey and her new focus on emotional alignment, her way of giving back to a community she deeply respects.
So watch, listen, and learn all about Joanna Ruth and emotional alignment.
You started your story like right around 2018, 2019 in our conversation. I want to know, when did weight, food, and all that good stuff become an issue? You mentioned with hormones, being a teenager and whatnot. So I'm really curious
Oh,
about that
yeah.
because mine started
Well,
as early as 3.5. So,
okay.
um,
Well, I was 12. Until I was 12, I was mildly pudgy, what the vets would call doughy these days. I wasn't overweight. I wasn't a skinny child. I was fairly normal. Once I hit puberty, I went from, say, a normal size 12 body, which is Australian sizes, clothing sizes, to about an 18. So I was much bigger than everyone else within a very short period of time. Maybe by the time I was 15 or 16, I was too big. I then spent a year, my last year of high school, I joined a gym. And I got myself I got contact lenses, and I got myself addicted to aerobics and circuit classes, and I would ride my bike to the gym, and I would avoid doing all my homework because I just wanted to go to the gym. I lost a lot of weight and I got myself down to that size 12 again, just because I was having a good time. And I enjoyed the fact that my body was strong and able and I wasn't tired. Um, and then school finished and I went to university for, I think, over a period of 5 years. I was at university. So I was full-time university, part-time working, and part-time working in a volunteer group with my community. I was very, very busy. I had my car license, I had money, and drive-through was my go-to. And I would eat while I'm driving, running from one thing to the next thing. And I think by the time I finished university, I was probably a very full size 20. So once you get to, in Australian sizes, once you get past a normal size 18, then you go into plus sizes, and the size 18 is much bigger than the regular 18. So it's not the same. The 18s are not the 18s. So I was already plus size 18, and then I think I grew to like 20. And the sizing is very much bigger categories, bigger. There's a lot more room in those sizes for weight. It's the smaller the sizes are, the less difference there is in each size. So I struggled. I tried restricting calories. That would work until my willpower decided I'm tired and I'm hungry and I want to eat. I had never tried changing what I eat, other than not eating junk food and eating more whole, homemade type foods. That was the only change in what I was eating. I started off just with the amounts, but I wasn't one to be on a diet all the time. I was never I just put up with it. And I just tried not to get fatter because it seemed very much out of my control. So even when I cleaned my diet up to a healthy, non-processed standard diet, it still didn't really work. I would still slowly get bigger. So I relied on movement to support the eating, and I worked with personal trainers here and there, and the success came from when I had a personal trainer who told me to eat more meat. Just eat more meat. I'm like, okay. Like, if all you eat is chicken, just eat it. Just eat the protein. So that idea had started to come into the personal training world. Some people are protein types and they need to eat more protein because the carbohydrates don't serve them. And so that was the first time. I think I was probably in my early 30s. So that's nearly 20 years ago now that idea was given to me. And yeah, I sort of did that for a while, and then I had a relationship breakup and stress, and I've totally forgot about all of that. And when I was, I really did just put up with it and try to work around this thing that was happening to me. And stress would hormonally dysregulate me, and I would put on more weight because I was stressed. And I came to understandings of how urgent it was to do something about it when all of a sudden it was clear to me that I wasn't going to be able to do normal functions, like going to the toilet and cleaning myself and drying myself after showering. And that just stopped me in my tracks, like psychologically, where I decided whatever it is that I do, it has to be fairly drastic, because I'm not going to concede to this taking me over and taking away my ability in life. And so I continued to rely on, I had this understanding from about the age of 35 onwards that if I don't clean up the mess that's in my subconscious, because of my trauma was significant, the sadness of losing my mother, but the ongoing trauma, I could have actually got through that if I had a family who could emotionally support, but they couldn't. They were relying on me for support. They kind of, whenever anything emotionally challenging would happen, they would be asking me to help them. And these are adults asking a child to help them. So obviously I have what it takes to be emotionally supportive, but it was a very confusing childhood. And so I had a lot of mess in my mind space, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get myself together physically unless my mental space was clean. Like tidy mind, tidy desk, if everything in your life is a mess, it's because inside you're not organized and cleaned up. And I started to really focus on that. And every time I resolved something quite major, I would see that translate physically in my life, to the point that now you can walk into my apartment at any time and it looks like I've just done all the housework, like all the time. The bed is always made, the kitchen is always tidy, all the washing is pretty much done. And if it isn't done, it's in the cupboard. I don't even want to see the washing basket. Everything is in its place, and it's not that it doesn't move around, but it gets put back. And that just naturally happened. 8 years ago, I was in an absolute mess. Everywhere was mess, and I had no energy or no mental organization to be able to keep it tidy. Tidy was not a thing for me. Whereas now, I don't feel comfortable. I can handle it, but I don't feel all that lovely if things are in a mess. And so it stems from cleaning up what I like to call the dumpster fire that was in my thoughts. And every time I sorted another thing out, I would see it translating in my physical world. And I honestly believe that my physical body is able to come back into alignment because I've not got anything in my mind trying to misalign it. Yeah, and it really feels very much like I'm making a holistic effort to be my whole self, to be in alignment with my natural state. And that makes me very happy. That idea makes me feel very, very like I'm going to be so satisfied. People say, oh, how much weight do you want to lose? I say, I don't know. I'll tell you when I get there. Because I'll feel correct. I'll feel that it's right.
You'll just know. You'll just know this is it, right?
And because I know now it's not it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And everyone's
So,
different. Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed our interviews, and thank you to everyone who's submitted questions so far.
If you've got fresh ideas, leave your questions and comments below, and we'll get to work on them.
Bye for now.
See you in our next set of interviews.
Hello, I'm Joanna Ruth, but you can call me Joanna. I've embraced a carnivore lifestyle increasingly for the past 10 years. Now honing my diet to include meat, seafood, eggs, butter and salt. No plants or dairy anymore for me. With 30 years of experience in education, teaching both adults and children, I've spent the last 20 years developing effective life coaching methods. I now focus on the mental environment as a crucial factor in our health, and I'm excited to share the method of emotional alignment with the carnivore community, another secret weapon to use for our well-being successes. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. Please subscribe to the channel and email us if you'd like more information about life coaching. Here's a playlist for the entire series. Please like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. See you in the next video.